We were seeking services because we just noticed a lot of things that were different with him. We were concerned about his eating, just him getting upset, not interacting with other kids. And it was just so different from what we're used to with our other children. So we want him to be healthy and make sure he was good. And we were doing everything that we could.
Definitely wanted him to get everything that he need to have, and so that we can be better prepared and suited to understand him and his development.
Our oldest daughter, we found out she was pregnant and she had a very unstable lifestyle. At the time, she was homeless, moving around a lot, in a domestic violence relationship, definitely some substance use. And there was no prenatal care until month 7 or 8, which is when she came to stay with us. Her lifestyle did not change after having him. We were supporting her, hoping that the nurturing would just kick in and she would go into motherhood mode, and she just did not. Um, she reunited with her partner, his father, and they continued with the domestic violence. There's a lot of police involvement, CPS, and we were back and forth to court about his well being. It just wasn't a safe environment. She just did not put him first. So we had to put him first and fight for him.
Back and forth, it definitely it wasn't good, for us, for me and my wife.
Our mental.
Yeah, it was.
His.
Yes, it wasn't good for us. He started being here with us majority of the time, and then it got to a point, with CPS and some of the other social services, and they began to say he's doing really, really good over here. Have y'all thought about, making this permanent? And so me and my wife, we started thinking about it, and we just couldn't allow him to, grow up like that, and especially if we can, get in and do some things and help him. And so that's what we did. That's how we came about, getting custody of him.
Definitely, I think he's a very loving baby, but when she comes around, he will turn his back, shaking his head no, and he's more aggressive, I'll say. Um, Definitely more tantrums when there's more interaction with her. It's like starting all over again sometimes, like problems with sleep, just not the happy camper we're used to.
A wife, definitely talk about, we got to make sure that,
He always feels safe.
yeah, he feels safe, and we have to protect his mental and his physical. And we have to understand,
We don't know the trauma that he experienced while living with his mom. Let's say like they went away and he had a can of milk that we know will last, for 4 to 6 bottles. And we see him again and then it's still full, which means he wasn't eating. Or um he started like stuffing, like overfeeding himself, like give it to me, like, and he would choke and gag, throw up, and he was making himself sick because he was like hungry. And he's like, let's take it all in.
we had to work on him
Coordination.
coordination and him not just grabbing it and just eating it, because he possibly was not eating, was not getting food. So, but, fast forward, now he likes to have food in both hands because he's a texture baby. So he like to have food in both hands, but he don't just want to ram food in his mouth. He really takes his time and he bites it. But just the fact he does like to have food in both his hands. So
Which I think is a trauma response as well. I think him not having food, so whenever food's presented, it's like, "Oh, it's mine. I have. You can't take this from me." So, that's definitely, I think, a response from what where he was at before. He's taught us a lot. I would say, like, with the prenatal care, I actually remember my own personal experience going through that and seeing how the baby develops, and he didn't have all that stuff, so to be just kind of thrown into a situation, I think, I'm sure he heard lots of arguing and fighting, so that disruptions we kinda used to, and I think that, contributed to his tantrums, which would last hours, and nothing would console him. Holding him, warm bath, like, nothing, and it was horrifying for us. We're trying to comfort him. We want to make sure that we're doing what we need to do to, keep him safe. And we just don't know everything that he experienced, but we definitely had an impact on him.
I also think with the tantrums decreasing, I think is more his level of love and trust for us.
In the same environment.
Yes, in the same environment. I really think when he throws a tantrum, is for a specific reason. And so when we, redirect, or when we understand, we're faster in response now to know, well, why are you doing this? I think that also attributes to the decrease in the longevity of his tantrum.
Yeah. And also I think it was frustrating because we're getting frustrated because we don't understand him, but he's frustrated because he can't communicate. So we're both like hurting together, trying to learn what this little man needs.